we are covering risk identification and analysis for the PMP exam. This starts with the risk register, which is the central document for logging all identified risks. For the exam, you must know that a risk register contains a description of each risk, its potential causes, its probability of occurring, its impact on project objectives, and a proposed response plan. A common exam trap is to confuse the risk register with the risk report. The register is a detailed log for the project team, while the report is a high-level summary for stakeholders. After identifying risks, we move to qualitative analysis, where we prioritize them for further action. The primary tool here is the probability and impact matrix. This matrix helps to visually categorize risks based on their likelihood and potential effect on the project. For instance, a risk with a high probability and high impact will be a top priority. The exam will test your ability to interpret this matrix to determine which risks require immediate attention. Be aware of questions that try to trick you by providing irrelevant data. Always focus on the probability and impact scores to rank the risks correctly. Next is quantitative risk analysis, which numerically analyzes the effect of identified risks. A key technique here is the expected monetary value, or EMV, analysis. EMV is calculated by multiplying the probability of a risk occurring by its financial impact. For example, if there is a 20% chance of a risk that would cost the project $50,000, the EMV is negative $10,000. For opportunities, the EMV is positive. The exam often presents scenarios where you must calculate the EMV of different decisions to choose the most cost-effective path. Decision tree analysis is another quantitative technique you'll encounter. It's a diagram that models the different choices, uncertainties, and potential outcomes in a decision. Each branch of the tree represents a possible decision or event, and EMV is calculated for each path to help select the best course of action. The PMP exam won't likely ask you to draw a complex decision tree, but you will need to interpret one to make a recommendation. Finally, Monte Carlo simulation is a powerful quantitative analysis technique that runs thousands of simulations to model the combined effect of risks on project objectives. It helps to determine the probability of achieving specific cost and schedule targets. For the exam, you won't perform the simulation, but you must understand its purpose and how to interpret the results, such as an S-curve that shows the probability of completing the project by a certain date. A helpful mnemonic to remember the flow is: identify all risks, quickly prioritize, numerically analyze. This stands for identify risks and put them in the all-encompassing risk register, then perform qualitative analysis using the probability impact matrix. And finally, numerically analyze using tools like EMV and Monte Carlo. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.